This is my backing up exercise. Now we can back our horses up in two different ways. We can back them up with a direct pressure, so i.e. we take a hold of them and we ask them to back up in response to pressure on their faces, or we can back them up on an indirect pressure where we might kind of cluck at them or wave our rope around or do something with our hands where we're actually physically not touching the horse, we're driving the horse. Now with the foundation stuff and these foundation groundwork exercises, I want to first focus on teaching the horse how to give to pressure, and give to a direct pressure, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a hold of the halter rope here with my thumb pointing down, and all I'm going to do is squeeze softly on that halter rope until he takes a step back with his feet. Squeeze softly with that halter rope until he takes a step back with his feet. It's important that when we're doing this, that we keep our thumb pointing downwards. That's going to put pressure on the nose and it's going to put pressure on the poll simultaneously. Okay? Now initially when you're doing this with your horses, they're probably not going to back up quite like this horse. He's had a lot of this. They're probably going to lean on you a little bit and want to push back. So what we don't want to do is lean on them. Okay, so all I'm going to do is squeeze. Now, if he wasn't to respond to that squeeze, I would just rock slightly with my hand, and as soon as he starts to back up, there, I'm going to release. So if he leans on me or he tries to hide from me, all I'm going to do is rock gently from side to side until he starts to back up, and then I'm going to release. So initially when they do this, all I'm looking for is the feet to move. I want the feet to move backwards because that would be the first step. Okay? But very quickly, once those feet have started to move backwards, I then also want to sort of start to get to where I want the head and neck to kind of lower and get soft in response to my hand as well. So I want him to get soft in my hand all the way through his body to his feet. So I take a hold of him here and I want to feel him soft and light in there. So this is important for a number of reasons. The first reason I want to teach a horse to back up really nicely is a safety reason. When I'm around a horse and that horse might be worried about something, he might just be a little spoilt about something, he's got to a point where he's a bit oblivious about where people are. If I have an ability to back that horse up, then I also have an ability to get him out of my space and kind of protect myself from getting run into, okay? But obviously, that might be the case for the first few days, but once he's kind of learnt not to run into me and push on me, I want him to be able to understand that when I pick up on him, on my rein here, on his face, he needs to get soft and do something with his feet. Obviously, everything we're doing in these foundation groundwork exercises is to improve that horse as an original animal, to improve our ability to ride him and improve his understanding of how he's supposed to behave and how he's supposed to respond to us. This is all preparation for the ridden stuff. Once I've established that ability to back that horse in a straight line, I'm then going to look to start to be able to back him in a circle. Okay? So the first way we're going to do that is I'm going to ask him to back here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to back him and I'm going to direct his nose so direct my hand underneath his nose and ask him to back and reach around with that shoulder. So his right front foot there is reaching away from me and he's backing there in that circle. Okay, so we're making that circle and I'm on the inside of it. And what I'm looking at when I'm doing this is trying to position that right front foot, get it to set back and diagonally over. Once I've established that, then I'm going to look to see if I can back where I'm on the outside of the circle. So this time I'm going to tip the horse's head and neck towards me, and I'm going to try and position his left hind behind his right hind. So he backs up here with his left hind reaching behind his right hind. To start with, you might just accept 1 or 2 steps. You maybe not need to back a whole circle like that. If you could get him just to start to bring that hind quarter around, that might be enough. You might then just kind of give him a break and come back to it and build on it. Once I come back them to where I'm on the outside of the circle and to the inside of the circle, I'm then going to look to see if I can back them in a figure of 8. So I start to bring his front end around, so I'm on the inside there, moving his shoulder away from me, backing him around that circle, and then I'm going to switch directions here and ask him there just to bring his hind quarter backwards and around, backwards. He stepped forward there, but I want him to keep going backwards and around, and again there I can switch him the other way, so I tip his head away from me again, and I back him round to the right. So now we've got our horses to the point where we can back them in both directions. It's time to put it to the test. So here I've got 2 traffic cones spaced roughly 5 meters apart, and what I'm going to try and do is back my horse in a figure of 8 round these traffic cones. Okay, let's have a go. So what I'm looking to get is that I can achieve that figure of 8 from both sides of the horse, right and left, with some fluency and some softness. Okay, give it a go.